Okay. Good morning, or good afternoon, good middle of the day. The board meeting of the Gateway Development Commission is now called to order. Today, we are holding a public meeting of the Gateway Development Commission's Board of Commissioners. Today's meeting is being held in person, but public comments will continue to be solicited virtually, and audio is also being live streamed from the Gateway program website. The Commission will solicit comments from members of the public who have signed up for in-person comment. The Commission is also soliciting comments from the public that may be participating today virtually. The form for soliciting these comments is posted on the Gateway program website for those who wish to submit a comment for today's meeting. Acting Secretary Maria Anderson, may I ask you to conduct the roll call and report on the public notice for today's meeting?
Co-Chair Glenn.
Here.
Co-Chair Gray-Wolverk.
Here.
Vice Chair Kosha.
Here.
Commissioner Barbas.
Here.
Commissioner Bauer.
Here.
Commissioner Dominguez is absent. Commissioner Rosen. Here. We have a quorum. Adequate notice of today's regular public meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the Gateway Development Commission has been provided in accordance with the Commission's enabling legislation. The agenda and public documents pertaining to the board meeting have been made publicly available on the Gateway Program's website. Notice of the meeting was posted to the website 5 business days before the meeting, and public notice of the time and place of the meeting was provided to appropriate media outlets. A video recording of this meeting will be posted on the Gateway Program website.
Thank you. The next item on today's agenda is the report on the minutes of the January 16th, 2025 meeting of the board. Ms. Anderson, can you report on the minutes of that meeting?
Copies of the minutes of the meeting of January 16, 2025 were delivered in electronic form by myself to the governors of New York and New Jersey on January 16, 2025. The time for action by the governors of New York and New Jersey expired at midnight on January 31, 2025, at which time actions recorded in the minutes went into full force and effect.
Thank you. So get to the good stuff. We will now turn to GDC staff for an update on the Gateway program. Who do we have?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm happy to share some progress on our packages, starting with Tunnelly Avenue Bridge. We are now in stage 2. We concluded stage 1, which was completing the west side of Tunnelly Avenue. We shifted traffic to the newly poured bridge deck on January 17th. We're well into the stage 2A, which is basically the middle portion of Tunnelly Avenue. Good progress going ahead. We are actually doing the foundation footing is for basically the utility bridge. As of last week, we poured the slab, and upcoming work is going to be the gas main work, which is coming up shortly. On the Hudson Yards HYCC3 also, we have some good progress ahead. The last of the secant piles was installed. As the project for the next year and a half will be focusing on excavation of the structure. As I say, the secant piles were installed. We are doing some basically load transfer of the existing highline to the newly basically poured concrete beams. Within the excavation area, we have started excavation on level 1. Level 1 is we don't have any water. When it gets to the level 2, we have to do a lot of dewatering. Well, good in progress. The goal is to finish the project on November 17 of 2026. And to date, soil disposal has been around 25,000 tons. On the Hudson River ground stabilization, season 1 of in-water activities has concluded. basically, what we're doing right now, we have moved the mobile wall within the first 600 feet. Within this contained area, we are doing primary and secondary deep soil mixing columns. This season is from basically, as you know, the fish moratorium started in January 20th and will ongoing till July 1st. Within this time period, inside the enclosed containment, we're going to do about 400 primary columns and 350 secondary columns. As we go, we're doing some obstruction removals. We're finishing the coring for the test section to come up with the mix design. This week, we're actually coming up with our permanent mix design for the deep soil mixing. On the Palisades Tunnel project, we're doing some preparatory work in progress, which is erosion control, rock and environmental borings and clearing. And we're doing some instrumentation installation and monitoring. As of today's schedule, the TBMs has been ordered. TBM number 1 is well ahead of schedule to be here in January of 2026 and ready for excavation in May of 26. The second TBM to arrive in March and ready to be for excavation in June of 2026. So a great partnership there with our partner there and on schedule. Now I want to get into today, I know that one of the agendas is hopefully you guys approving the Manhattan Tunnel project. So before that, I want to give an introduction. This is the most exciting and challenging contract that we're going to have. Just an overview of what we're doing there. This is a roughly 700 feet of tunnel at 30th Street in Manhattan. The main purpose, it serves two purposes. It's to clear any obstruction from about 200 feet west of the historical Manhattan bulkhead up to the 12th Avenue shaft. This is clear any obstruction for the future TBMs that are going to be coming to this shaft. This shaft will be a permanent structure later on in our package 2 for a ventilation facility. So just to clear any obstruction within the route, that's the purpose of this, the first section. The second section is from east of that shaft going into and breaking into the HYCC contract. That's a permanent structure. Within basically this project is a design build, and to accommodate the complex tunneling activities, we went through some ATC process, which really helped the selected contractor or selected preferred bidder chose within the alternative technical concept, came up with eliminating the shaft, which minimizes impacts on the surface roads and the sidewalk, and also he came up with a method of replacing the sequential excavation method with a very basically advanced shield, basically digging operation, which actually saved us basically a lot of time on the schedule. I'm concluding my presentation here, and I'm going to hand it over to Anthony Gardner to give a briefing on the award and the procurement of this package. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Okay. Good afternoon. So exciting day for us. We've been in the procurement process for a while, and I'm pleased to present today a recommendation for award. Very briefly, the 3 shortlisted firms provided proposals. They were reviewed by the evaluation panel that consisted of technical experts from Gateway, the State of New York, New Jersey Transit, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, and Amtrak. And Unanimously, the joint venture Frontier Kemper to the Perini was selected through the procurement process. And today, we're recommending a full contract award of $1,177,700,000, along with the market case estimate that'll be discussed or provided a little later, I think is in the resolution, which followed the PDA guidelines. Also, a recommendation today is that we simultaneously approve our CEO's ability to issue a notice to proceed upon your approval. Thank you. And I think next up is Tom.
Can we, just to interrupt for a second, there was a slide, I believe, that was not discussed in the presentation prior to yours that I think is pretty illuminating for both the commissioners and people in the audience with respect to exactly what's going to be happening here.
Sure.
I think that that's, actually, as we say, bring it into real life
Absolutely.
for people. And also, I'm a little confused and wanted just to clarify what was going on with the shaft. That's been a
Absolutely.
very large issue for
Sure,
people on the
sure.
Manhattan
Sorry
side.
to go.
Yes.
I got a little bit excited because I'm really excited for this project.
It's pretty exciting. I'm excited.
I know.
So let's just slow it
Absolutely.
down and tell us what's going to happen. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I gotta go up and down the west side every day.
Absolutely.
Tell me what's
So-
going on. Okay.
So what you see, so the project here is everything there in orange. And as I said, it's two parts. You see the proposed shaft, that's the 12th Avenue shaft, which is going to be at Lot 675. That shaft is a permanent, it's eventually will be a permanent structure and will be a vent shaft for our package 2 in the tunnel. So the TBMs on the left side, I'll call it the west side, was coming from the P1C contract, which is launched from the Hudson County shaft. And it's going to actually come through this orange alignment on our T1 and T4 alignment, and it's going to be basically demobilized within the shaft at 12th Avenue. So within this alignment, we have the basically 12th Street highway existing piles. We got a lot of sewers that require that they should be underpinned and they should be bypassed. We got the historical High Line. And as you see, you got the Manhattan bulkhead, historical, that it's basically on piles. We have to clear the piles and do a load transfer from the piles up to the tunnel we're going to make. As you see, you see existing the gray line on 12th Avenue, which is the 12th Avenue. There could be older existing piles for the highway, and you have basically piles that are supporting two sewer structures on 12th Avenue. And again, because you're going to be, the TBMs are going to be running through through this alignment, you have to clean, the TBM can't cut through like steel and like wood. To clear that, you have to actually do a sequential excavation method, or what the preferred bidder proposed was shield methoding to protect it, clear the obstruction. So everybody asks, what happens to basically the loads? The loads will be transferred to the roof of the tunnel, the newly built tunnel. Once we get to we clear the obstruction into the 12th Avenue, this will be backfilled for the TBM. So the TBM is going to be backfilled with low-strain material concrete, and the TBMs will be able to excavate through the 12th Avenue shaft and be demobilized from the shaft. Now, from the shaft that you're seeing towards the yellow, which is the HYCC, that's a permanent structure. There is no, like, we're going to do a permanent structure there. It does not require to be backfilled. We have to do a sequential excavation method, and that's a combination on top of the surface. We're doing jet grouting or freezing, depending on what the contractor has basically proposed. And once we stabilize the ground, now we can do tunneling with a shield, which is a faster method of excavation then doing a sequential excavation method. As I explained, that process was approved in an ATC, and actually it saved about 8 to 9 months of our baseline schedule. So once that happens, those two tunnels go towards HYCC, and there's going to be a breakthrough to the existing HYCC 3 that currently is under construction. Commissioner, did I answer all your questions? Any other questions?
It certainly was more illuminating.
No
Thank
problem.
you. And I know that the staff has been working on this incredibly hard, and the ATC, I think, has been obviously a huge addition to saving time on the schedule, so thank you. Are there any other commissioners who wanted to ask any questions at this point? Okay, thank you. So we can continue the presentation. Thank you. Okay. I note for the record that the commission has solicited virtual comments from the public in advance of and during today's meeting. A form for soliciting these comments was posted to the GDC website in advance of the meeting. The comment form for virtual participation is available throughout today's meeting. The commission received one virtual public comment by 5 p.m. on Sunday, February 2nd from the following: Joshua Berman, Regional Planning Association. If any virtual comments are received during today's meeting, they will be distributed to the board and posted on the Gateway Program website after today's meeting. All public comments received will also be filed in the commission's records. Ms. Anderson will now conduct the public comment period for those speakers who have registered in person today.
Today, we have 5 registered speakers. Speakers, in order to give everyone an opportunity to be heard, we request you limit your comments to 3 minutes. In accordance with the GDC open meetings policy, the public comment period may be limited to 30 minutes. The first speaker is Joshua Berman, Regional Planning Association.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Josh Berman, and I'm the Campaigns Manager with Regional Plan Association, the nation's oldest metropolitan planning organization, and the convener of the Build Gateway Now Coalition. First, I'd like to congratulate Tom Prendergast on his first day as CEO. His deep expertise and proven leadership in delivering major infrastructure projects make him the right person to advance the Hudson Tunnel project and work to implement the full Gateway program. New Yorkers and New Jerseyans alike can see the progress happening in real time. From the excavation of the Manhattan Cut and Cover Tunnel to the essential early work in New Jersey, we're witnessing a once-in-a-generation investment in our region's economy and transit future. Thousands of good-paying jobs have already been created, and billions of dollars are flowing into communities across both states. RPA's Early Work, Early Benefits report found that in-progress work has created 7,500 jobs and $1.6 billion in economic activity. And the full project is expected to produce 95,000 new jobs and $19.6 billion in economic impact. And this is only the beginning of the potential economic and jobs benefits of the full Gateway program. Still, the work ahead is just as critical. The Palisades Tunnel remain on track to break ground in 2026, and today's contract award for the Manhattan Tunnel marks another major step forward. This is more than just another milestone. It's a moment that ensures the full construction phase of the project is underway and progressing with the urgency that it demands. RPA is proud to support the GDC Board's commitment to delivering this transformative project. Gateway is not just about new infrastructure, it's about economic opportunity, regional resilience, and ensuring a reliable future for the millions who depend on this corridor every day. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Sam Turvey, Rethink New York City.
Hello, nice to see you all again. I was pleased to get to meet some of you at the last meeting. I'm with Rethink NYC. I'm also the coordinator of the Empire Station Coalition and a coordinator of the Penn Community Defense Fund. And an obligatory for me for these meetings is we all fully support the Gateway tunnels being created, but we do believe that they should be leveraged in a different way, and we do not believe there's any need to demolish Block 780 or the adjacent neighborhoods. These neighborhoods have had a bullseye on them for almost a decade. The railroads are claiming they need to do this in order to get to 48 trains per hour of capacity at Penn Station, and yet even at this late date, they have not figured out how to do that. So why do I bring this up today? I think it's likely the railroads are going to ask for more land, and if they're going to need to add more terminal tracks to finally get to 48 trains per hour. You're now in the position of letting the gateway contracts, and which option are you going to align to, and how are you going to do that? To the extent I saw a slide that seemed to indicate the trains will be moving on up into Penn Station, terrific, but we have heard flirtations with ideas of in Phase 2 moving them and having them pointed at Block 780, and we think it's premature for that sort of talk to take place. And we really ask that people are very careful about how we spend their dollars. We do not want to see any front running in the way the design work happens. I believe that this southern expansion of Penn Station will cost some $18 billion if we're lucky. And as a result, we think it is fully something that should be independently reviewed. I have told you before, I am not happy with the reviews that have been done by the same firm in 2021, in October of last year, and appear to be continuing on into the next year. I think for something of this magnitude, we needed independent review. I may or may not have said this at our last meeting, but in their last report, 190-some pages, there was a scant one paragraph, 77 words dedicated to the benefits of through running. That is not a balanced report. I don't think I need to tell you much more to say that. The Gettysburg Address, usually seen as a model of economy in words, is 200 more words than that 77-word paragraph. It is generic. It is an acme paragraph on the benefits of through running. Frankly, it's obscene. We should avoid the undue expense of the southern expansion. There are ways that through running can happen within the footprint of the existing Penn Station, and I point you to Thameslink in London. We can avoid the unnecessary demolition and displacement of residents, small businesses, and historic buildings. But more importantly, we're not just some do-good grassroots organization. We're talking to you as business people about a method to turbocharge the regional economy in a sane, equitable, and sustainable manner. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next speaker is Crowker Direni for Around the World, LLC.
Good afternoon, ladies, members of the board and attendees. My name is Croker Devaney, and I am the CEO of Around Our World. My company specializes in microtagging, a patent anti-theft and tracking solution designed to safeguard critical infrastructure, including transportation, utility, and communication network. Today, I want to bring to your attention a growing crisis that directly impacts the Gateway Development Commission operation, budget, and the public safety. From June to August 2024, there was 3,929 reports, incidents of theft and vandalism targeting U.S. critical communication infrastructure, and an average of 44 attacks per day. These crimes had disrupted essential services, leading to over 335,000 customers without internet, phone, and emergency response system, while costing millions in damage. Copper theft is the major driver of this crisis, with organized crimes stripping network, cutting fiber lines, and selling stolen material to black market and scaling and scrap dealers. Just last year, a major incident like Sacramento International Airport, fiber cut and delay on flight, or the 9/11 outrage in Andorra County, California, demonstrated how protected infrastructure put millions at risk. How Microtag can help. Microtag is advanced and anti-solution that can help the GATE project and similar infrastructure utilize, save money of dollars in theft and prevention and asset protection. The unique traceable marketing system. Microtag technology allowed authority to identify stolen copper, fiber, and equipment, making it worthless to thief and traceable back to the source. UV microscope authentic. Material treated with Microtag can be instantly verified in the field discourage tampering and preventing illegal resale. Integration with GPS, NFC, and RFID. All system work existingly smart tracking solution to provide real-time monitoring of valuable asset. Why now? Leading industries group like NCIA, CTIA, and U.S. Telecom have okay, thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Joseph Cliff.
Mr. Commissioners, do all of you have a copy of my written statement? Do any of you? Thank you. Great. Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Clift. I have copies of my written statement today if anybody's interested. I will comment today on the current plans for the Hudson Tunnel Project, and I direct my initial remarks to Vice Chair Kosha. At the last GDC Board meeting on January 16th, you stated, and I am paraphrasing, that the true stakeholders of Gateway, and therefore the Hudson Tunnel Project, are the people who rely on the system every day, the riders, whose lives are affected by having a mobility system that does something for the quality of life in this region and for the ability to economically thrive in the region. It is also stated repeatedly by GDC officials, ad nauseum I might add, I quote, "The Gateway program is the most urgent infrastructure program in America." If that's the case, if Vice Chair Kosha is correct, I agree completely with him, and that quote is correct, then some problems come to mind about the Hudson Tunnel Project. Why were only 2 pages provided just 24 hours before this meeting in contravention of GDC bylaws regarding approval of the $1.4 billion Manhattan Tunnel Project contract with no details of the project scope, schedule, source of funds, competitive bids, or any other information required to make an informed decision? There was also no explanation provided of the relationship between the $1.8 billion market case estimate and the Manhattan Tunnel Project contract for $1.4 billion. Second point, why does the Hudson Tunnel Project provide zero, and I emphasize zero, memorialized in the project's FEIS, additional Hudson Rail capacity or ridership, not even one additional seat, if it is a major element of the most important infrastructure program in America, and that program is focused on rider benefit? And what lies did the FDA have to accept or create to approve such a project for capital investments grant funding when every other project approved for GIG funding has demonstrated increased ridership? Third, why is the current track alignment of the $1.8 billion Hudson Tunnel Project such that it only increases transit capacity after another $30 billion is spent, instead of adjusting the track alignment so immediate benefits of more transit capacity can be achieved? Fourth, why was the Hudson Tunnel Project designed with incredibly expensive non-value-added project scope and decades-old rather than state-of-the-art technology? And last, but certainly not least, why does the $18 billion Hudson Tunnel Project delay for 10 years, I repeat 10 years, the start of major repairs and upgrades to the 2 existing Hudson Tunnel tubes? You have the London Bridge Associates report from 4 years ago. It tells you how to start that work immediately. And I'll leave you with this thought. Given the facts stated above, I sincerely doubt that the Hudson Tunnel Project and Gateway program, as currently designed, can withstand the thorough, objective review for its cost effectiveness contemplated by the new administration in Washington. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Christopher Boylan for the General Contractors Association.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing us to testify today. We also welcome Tom Prendergast and congratulate him on joining the GDC team. At the General Contractors Association, we represent 300 member firms, heavy civil construction firms, and the 25,000 represented trades workers and professionals who work for those companies. We've built the region's roads, bridges, tunnels, water and sewer, and rail and transit systems for over 115 years. As I think you know from previous remarks I've delivered, we've supported the GDC since its very inception. And in that regard, we co-chair the Gateway Now Coalition, the Coalition for the Northeast Corridor, and also are involved in the Penn Station Working Advisory Group. As part of those efforts, we've actively advocated for federal funding and administrative approvals for not only the Hudson River tunnels, but for the complementary and much-needed Penn Station rehabilitation and expansion improvements. So we're particularly pleased by today's anticipated Manhattan Tunnel contract award, which is a significant construction milestone and a very visible one at that. And as an aside, we represent all the members of the successful JV, so we're happy to see that. When coupled with the already underway work at Tunnelly Avenue, the Palisades, Hudson Yards, and the ground stabilization at the Hudson River, that progress signals to critical funding partners in DC, New York, and New Jersey that things are moving apace and that this project is advancing in a timely and cost-effective manner. The sense of urgency you've brought to the table promises to not only keep the construction work on schedule, but since time is money, will help keep the cost of the project within budget. We'll also commend you for the work the Commission has done over the past 2 years to partner with the construction and engineering industries through early and regular outreach. That's kind of a unique aspect of GDC we don't see in many of our other clients. It's been a signature of the way you've operated, and it goes a long way toward eliminating disconnects going forward. It also allowed for creative project delivery and design, as you heard in the presentation from your own staff today. We look forward to working in partnership with you and other stakeholders in order to build the entire Gateway project better, faster, smarter, more cost-effectively, and most importantly, more urgently. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There are no more speakers.
Thank you. We will now turn to GDC staff for a presentation of the action items.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Oops. 4 action items. First is action item 022501, authorization of water contract GDC 25007 HTP, performance of expert professional design build services for the Manhattan Tunnel project.
Do any of the commissioners wish to comment on this item? Is there a motion from a commissioner to consider this resolution?
I'll move it.
Is there a second? Thank you. Any discussion? I move this motion to a vote. Ms. Anderson, please call the roll.
Co-Chair Glenn,
Yes.
Co-Chair Graywall-Verk,
Yes.
Vice Chair Kosha,
Yes.
Commissioner Barbas,
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosen. The motion passes.
The second action item is item number 022502, approval of market case estimate for the Manhattan Tunnel project.
Do any of the commissioners wish to comment on this item? Is there a motion from a commissioner to consider this resolution? A second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. I move this motion to a vote. Ms. Anderson, please call the roll.
Co-Chair Glenn,
Yes.
Co-Chair Graywall-Verk,
Yes.
Vice Chair Kosha,
Yes.
Commissioner Barbas,
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosen. The motion passes.
Third action item is item number 022503, Hudson Tunnel project, Manhattan Tunnel project, authorization to execute memorandum of understanding for a project labor agreement.
Thank you. Do any commissioners wish to comment on this item? Is there a motion from a commissioner to consider this resolution?
I'll move it.
And I have a second.
I'll second it.
Thank you. I move this motion to a vote. Ms. Anderson, please call the roll.
Co-Chair Glenn,
Yes.
Co-Chair Graywall-Verk,
Yes.
Vice Chair Kosha,
Yes.
Commissioner Barbas,
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosen. The motion passes.
The last action item is item number 022504, Hudson Tunnel Project, New Jersey Surface Alignment P3 Project, authorization for a stipend program.
Do any commissioners wish to comment? Is there a motion from a commissioner to consider this resolution?
I'll move it.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. I move this motion to a vote. Ms. Anderson, please call the roll.
Co-Chair Glenn,
Yes.
Co-Chair Gray-Walverk,
Yes.
Vice Chair Kosha,
Yes.
Commissioner Barbas,
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosen. The motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. There being no further business to conduct today, I motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Yes. I move this motion to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.